Hi, I'm Robin Bady. I am with the Brooklyn Arts Council SUCASA program. And over here is the Eileen C. Dugan Senior Center at Amico. Today is Story Day, where we do the culmination of our 2-month-long project. New World Warrior, would you start us off?
It's a very simple song, and I'd like to say it with the intention of touching spirits, because that's my hopes at all times. But it simply says, you can change the world with just your spirit. You can change the world. You can change the world with just your mind. You can change the world. You can change the world with just your spirit. African family, it's about time for you to know that you can change the world with just your spirit. You can change the world, you can change the world with just your mind. You can change the world with just your spirit. Yes, sir, and it's all about you, and it's about time. What you think?
Yes. When I was very young, and even to this day, I never liked Halloween for the things that people do to each other, with the excuse that it's Halloween, it doesn't make it right. And I remember one thing was that they would throw eggs at each other, and I didn't like that. I got very upset.
So this is what Vito said. Your wisdom comes from yourself. You cannot change anyone except yourself. For change, we need to focus on the little things, step by step. Okay. There is lots to struggle through, but you can make it if you try. Good karma eventually comes back. It's good to be kind. Time is money, money is time. Teamwork, concentrate, have heart, lead from your heart. The only way you learn is by trying. Don't be afraid of people laughing. They have nothing to do with you. Josie and Helen said, stay away from people who upset you. Is that a good one? Catherine.
Yeah, you get wisdom from God. Wisdom is blind. Anger does not always work. God is your refuge.
Round of applause, please.
Don't need anything. Never give up. The serenity for that. Fail again, but fail better. Go with music. Love yourself. Everyone is different. Do what you need to do. Live and learn. Smile, the world smiles with you. Cry, you cry alone. Crowds of wisdom, be kind, be nice.
When I was in school, and my teacher used to tell me, go in the front of the classroom and say something. And I still remember all those stories that I used to tell all my classmates. I won't forget them. And some of them I have not met them over here, but I come from back over there to my island in Puerto Rico. But some of them I found here. To tell you the truth, I found a person that this classroom, I was sitting behind, no, she was in front of me on the third line of the school room. Picture the school room. And she was sitting behind me, and I found her over here in New York City. After all this year that I came to New York, I met my kids, she met her kids. I used to go to school in the 4th grade, back over there in Puerto Rico, and I found her here. Abigail. One day I found her in Raleigh, coming out, and I was going inside Raleigh, and she told me, I know you're from somewhere. I know that face. I have seen that face before. I know I've seen you somewhere before. And then she remembered, we used to be classmates in 4th grade in Puerto Rico. You don't think that the world is round and goes around and around and around. You may meet people who you thought that you were never see again. And there she was. She's dead because she's in a better place. We say because she's in a better place. Because over here we got pain. Over there they don't have pain. So I was thankful enough to meet her over here, and I wish that she's resting in peace where she's at. And she was always my friend in the classroom. Great, God bless her. And it was good to find her here. Thank you very much for listening to my story. I bet you could make a book out of all your stories you got. You could make a book. Thank you for listening to me.
So Vito said, listen to your parents. They try to raise you the right way. They told me, don't go along with friends. They might not stick around to help you.
You never listen?
Your friend oh yes. One friend, when I was hanging out, when I was younger, in those days, yes, I find that out, they stick with me, even if it was, not taking off, and they helped me out, that they saw that somebody was trying to take over or something. So I really appreciated that. And that was the story that I had to tell girls. Thank you.
Juanita LaBoy said, my mother was a good mother and a good wife, but I didn't listen to her. I cut classes at school, and I had to get home before Dad did. But when I had children, I told my daughter, you go to school, don't forget your family, and keep us in mind. So I did not model it for her, but I made sure she did it herself.
Learn something through all our things in life, because it's like a destiny. What is for you is for you. Ain't nobody gonna take it away from you. You come and you leave this earth, but you make, better things than the things that you did in the past. Try to be a better person every day, and try to be, good person. Never do bad things, like, in general. Bad things, don't do bad things, because it's gonna come back to you. Do good to another person. Another person might be need a counseling, a good word, like a hug, or might need, money, it's always good to give money.
And I truly love working here. It's such a pleasure. As I age, I learn from other people, not so with my students as well as my age group, my peer group. I started dancing very, very early in life, and I was, of course, raised in Ocean Hill, Brownsville. And I had the pleasure of meeting people from Brazil, Africa, that we danced on the big stages here in New York. You name it, that's the stage that I was on. And it was so thrilling, because being from a family of 12, mother and father, and many friends came to support. Every time I performed, be it New York or another state, they were there, giving me that energy that I needed. And it's a pleasure working here as well. We have so many interesting and respectful people here that give you the support that you need. And let me give you a little samba.
We gotta go and see the two of you do it together, because Vito can samba too. How did you learn to cook? What are your favorite things? What are the worst things?
My name is Melissa C, and I want to tell a story about my sister, who would only eat certain foods. She would eat pizza, hamburger, Frank's, and milkshakes. I was trying to, you could have a little iceberg lettuce and some tomato on your hamburger, but that was the extent of her diet. So one night, my mom cooked, and we were at the table till 9 o'clock because my mother said, "You're gonna eat those green peas." And my sister was sitting there like a stone wall, and I'm sitting next to her. Why you don't like these green peas? You know, so at 9 o'clock finally my mother said, "Get up and go to bed." You know, so we went to bed, and the next morning we got up, and my mom had cooked breakfast, and she had cooked pancakes, and in the pancakes was, guess what? Green peas. So that's when I said, that was the day I remember when I said, my mom don't know how to cook.
My sister's hers on a street, but I had to get up at 6 every morning to go down to the health station. It was a special station down on Clinton and Second Cross. And every morning the milk truck would come. And if you went at 6 o'clock in the morning, you would get 1 quart of milk free every day. That was my job.
Why was it your job?
Because we needed milk and I was the oldest, so you got the job.
And what happened when you got home without the top, the cream at the top?
We all used to fight over who would get the cream because it would settle at the top. So we would take turns to get the cream. Good old days.
Could you go talk about how you brought your dad food and pier?
Oh, I was never allowed to cross the street, especially Court Street, because of the trolley tracks. But I was allowed to go down to the piers every day to bring my father lunch. Figure that one out.
I like to cook. I used to have 2 sisters and 1 brother. I only have 1 sister left.
My dad was a chef, so I learned from, if you want your food to taste really, really well, you gotta put your mind, you gotta really love what you're doing. So a lot of love, the food comes out a lot better. You don't have to be a chef really, but the thing is, you have to put a lot of love into it, so it comes out really well.
Yeah. So are you a good cook?
All
Are
right.
you a good cook?
Yes, well, I don't say that I'm a chef, but I can cook, okay.
My grandmother was the one that raised me. She didn't taught me how to cook. She used to do some kind of cooking, the name of the guanime. It was some kind of mixture of a gold, yellow flour that she used to make, and she used to wrap them in green banana leaf. She never told me the recipe. She never taught me how to make it. I haven't found it I haven't Googled it, everything now you Google, and you find out things that you didn't know when it was like, and I used to live over there. I used to cross the, how do you call that, something that you find everywhere that you, I know how to say it in Spanish.
Sí, en Spanish. I translate for you.
Era una cosa que se llama, I forgot the name now, I got it at the tip of my tongue.
Una ponte.
No, yo machacaba almendra en la piel. I used to go and pick up all the, how do you say that?
The peels?
No, it was some kind of
Piedras.
no, it was some kind of thing to eat. I used to pick them up from wherever they get out of the surrounding area of where I was living, back over there in my country. I used to pick them up and machac. the almendra. Trigo, almendra, that was an almond. Almendra. In Spanish name is almendra, but in English, word is almond. I used to pick them up and take out the thing on the inside and do like, I used to take 3 stones. I was very intelligent back then. But I used to take 3 stones and put sticks of the 3 stones all around there. And I used to put like fire, and then I used to put the pot in there and cook whatever it is that I found that day. The almendra. I used to do like a candy, some kind of candy with a lot of sugar. It was brown sugar. I used to use brown sugar.
Yum, yum.
Yeah, that was very good. It was very good, delicious. I remember when I think I was about 6 or 7 years old. I used to do that, and my grandmother used to call me, "Go back, come back to the house." I used to bring water to my grandmother. I used to go in the well and bring water to my grandmother because she had to cook. There was no water in the house. Back then, there was no water in the house. We didn't have water. And the light came later. We didn't have light in the house. We used to put candles because there was no other way to, in the nighttime because it was very dark, In the nighttime was very dark. And then I used to, be in the house with my grandmother. She used to tell me, that lady took care of me. That lady was a very good lady to me. Her name is Martina Diaz Cotto. And I still remember her. I still remember her because she was very good to me. That's why it's good to be good to your children and to your grandchildren. Because you never know, in the future, they might, be thankful for what you did when they were little. Because people bring child in the world over here, but then they don't know the future of this child. So the child is going to remember everything you do to them when they were little. When they were little, they don't forget. They don't forget. Anything you do to anybody, people don't forget what you do to them. They don't forget. So all my great-grandchildren, they're good to me now because I was a good great-grandmother. And I could be an example to all the great-grandmother because I know that you got to be good to your children, to your grandchildren. Don't leave your children in a garbage can. Those are laws, those are laws. If you become a mother, the child came out of your belly, and you're going to drop it in the garbage. You don't do that to a child that came over here for you to protect. You don't do that. That's why there's laws that you got to follow. You got to follow the law. You don't do that to a person or a child that's born here. You don't know that you sent him to get here. You don't know why he's here, but he got born.
One of the things we talked about also was driving. And I want to start with one of the weirder stories we picked up.
I used to drive before I was of age. Right here in the area, everybody got behind the wheel. You didn't need a license. But as I got older and I needed my license, I found out I was never allowed to drive again because I am blind to one eye. But I had been having a ball from when I was 16 to 18, drove every place. Go to the island and stuff. Long Island, there was only one highway, Sunrise Highway, that took you every place. And that's what I used to do.
I want to read another thing she said, which was terrifying coming home from New Jersey, going 3 miles an hour with 15 mile an hour zone. Imagine everyone honked at me.
I moved to the United States from the Philippines. My father was in the U.S. Army. And then my brother, after the Navy, he went to San Francisco, and I followed. And one by one, all my siblings, 7 boys, 3 girls, moved to the U.S. 6 of my brothers went into the military. Now my first job was selling wine. Can you imagine somebody coming here? I mean, I didn't know a thing about wine. I was so terrified, so nervous about the whole thing. But I was able to follow through, and We took wine orders from all over the U.S. to learn Gamay Beaujolais and Chenin Blanc and Gewürztraminer and all that. And then I moved to Virginia. My husband worked at the Department of Energy then in Washington, D.C. And during the pandemic, my daughter was so worried about me, so she brought me here to New York and doesn't want me to go back. So that's why I've been here in Brooklyn for 3 years now.
Tell them the story of how you came into the center.
To the center, oh yes. So I was new here, right? So I was walking out one day on a beautiful day, and here comes Dulce, that candy. And she said, "Isn't it a beautiful day?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I just wish I had friends to share it with." And then she said, she points here at the Eileen Dugan Center and said, "Where's the center? Go there, and you're going to meet friends." And thank you, Candy. It made a difference. It really made a difference. And I'm just so happy that we have this center. I come here, I wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to the center, and I look for what we're supposed to be doing. And it's just being with friends, talking, and it's just wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Carroll. Thank you, everyone.
Other terrifying things we talked about?
I was 19 and I had a good paying job, and so I decided I was going to move and get my own apartment. And I looked in the Village Voice and I found an apartment on 2nd Avenue and 6th Street between 1st and 2nd. And so I moved all my stuff. It had a shower in the kitchen, and so I went that night, my first night when I'm in my new apartment, and I laid down to go to sleep, and I realized that I was frightened, not about the neighborhood or anybody coming in, but I was scared of Dracula, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, and those were the ones that kept me awake at night in this new apartment. So eventually I had to give it up because I couldn't overcome those strong characters. Every story that anyone tells, there is resonance for other people. I remember when I moved into the East Village, I was 26. I was terrified. I was living by myself, and I was up on the 6th floor, and I was in this scary city, and I couldn't believe I had to go to sleep at night and there was nobody there at the door to protect me from all the monsters. I had the same feelings. And as you listen to stories, one of the reasons stories are so powerful, there always are kernels that we can recognize and that we can take into our own lives. I just want to close with something that Jackie, who is in the hospital now, but I want to say something she wrote, which is wisdom. My mother would say, always be positive, do positive things with your life. Live, love, laugh, be natural. Plant flowers, enjoy the day from the beginning of the day. If anyone should say, I'm having a horrible day, I'd say the day is not over and you never know what to expect. I try to put the negative in the past in the back of my mind. And as Dulce says, stories dignify. And now we're going to sort of end with a story by Sebastian.
I've been working here for 2 years. I have grown to love a lot of you. You guys are like you guys are like a family to me. You guys have all grown on me so much. Sorry, I'm here. Just to end off, I know it's short. As a gift of gratitude, I'd like to give this to you from the Senior Center.
All right.
Thank you. I agree. Y'all are some of the most generous people I've met, and I love you all for that, and for the gorgeous stories that you're willing to share. Thank you. I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank the Brooklyn Arts Council that is continuously, constantly, and in the face of everything that's in front of us, sending out programs that celebrate who we are as diverse, strong, loving people, and strengthening us in all the ways that art strengthens. Thank you.
You just proved the title of the song. You can change the world with just your spirit. You have changed the world. You can change the world with just your mind. You can change the world. You can change the world with just your spirit. It's all about you and you and you and you and you, and it's about time. What you say?
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big round of applause for the storytellers. All right,